Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Punjab Kings, this is a really interesting one because they've had such an entertaining season, to say the least, built on the back of their Indian stars. Yet you think, oh, will I be missing a couple of key overseas players where there's uncertainty around Marcus Stoinis, even though he's not really had much to do this season with bat or ball. Josh Inglis was just starting to warm up to his role as the keeper batter ahead of Prabh Simran, batting 3 occasionally. And Mitchell Owen as the replacement for Glenn Maxwell. Omar Sai was so good in Dharamshala. No more games in Dharamshala. Marco Janssen will be off for WTC duties at the end of the league stage. Bartlett, Kyle Jamieson in there as well. Jamieson, of course, a replacement for Lockie Ferguson. What is Ricky Ponting's challenge here, Tom?
Replacing, firstly, I think Inglis in at 4 because he was starting to fire. Mitchell Owen's come in, but he's only recently burst onto the scene, had a brilliant big bash, but as an opener. One thing Punjab don't need is an opening batting pair because they're running hot. So can Owen fill that role in the middle order? A real question mark about that. And what's going to be interesting for Punjab, if they do lose early wickets, what does that middle order look like? How do they respond to that?
I want to ask you, Piyush, that their strength has been their Indian players. If anything, they're unkept Indian players as well. Prabh, Priyansharya, Shashank Singh, Nehal Wadera. Of course, Shreyas has been great. Can we count on Indian unkept abilities in a playoff of an IPL?
Well, the kind of cricket they are playing, you can count on them because they all are experienced campaigner in IPL. And IPL gives you a lot of exposure as a player. Shashank has done really well in the last 2 years. Then Nehal has done well for MI and now doing whatever innings he has played for Punjab. So you have placed your bet on them in auction. So now you have to back them. And the way they have performed throughout in last 10, 11 games, they have been brilliant. So I think they don't have to worry much about that because Priyansharya, Prabh Simran Singh, they have been brilliant. And then Shreyas is doing a really good job, and then Nehal comes in, so they have the power.
Dustin, what have you got for us? Is Janssen their biggest miss, actually?
I think if they make the playoffs, that's the biggest miss. Because he's been their wicket taker through the middle overs, and he's actually started bowling well in the power play as well the last couple of games. He was getting the ball to move. Of course, that was in Dharamsala where they're not playing. But if they make the playoffs, I think, again, as you said, with due spin, may not play as much of a role. So Janssen and Arshdeep, that combination was their strength, I think.
I mean, there's uncertainty on Inglis and Stoinis, but we believe they might actually be back soon. There's also uncertainty on where the playoffs will be. So that's another mystery for everyone. First, get there. They still have good Indians that haven't had a lot of game time. Vaishak, Yash Thakur, Harpreet Brar, Shedge has not done much, but we know he comes with a reputation for what he's done with Mumbai. Do you think a lot of their Indian players can cover for overseas?
Well, if we talk about Suryan, because he has done really well in Syed Mushtaq Ali, and that's from where you pick the domestic players in the auction. So he must be having that confidence, back of his mind that if I play at that level, he wants to prove it to the world that if I can do well in Mushtaq Ali, and that makes a huge difference as a player because you really want to do well. And then Harpreet Brar, I have little doubts because he has not bowled much this season because he hardly played any games. So if you really want him to feature in the playing 11 when it comes to playoff, but as you mentioned, it totally depends where the playoffs are happening, which ground, whether the ground dimensions, the pitch. So
they're going to play 3 games at Jaipur, that we know. Are we backing them to get enough results their way to make the playoffs first? We know that their games are against Rajasthan, Mumbai Indians, and the big one against the Delhi Capitals, which will be the replayed game from Dharamshala. Punjab to make the playoffs, Tom?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I have them in the playoffs.